Hello and welcome to the Warcraft 3 audio commentary. This is going to be a 1v1 game on the map Echo Isles version, was it 2.2 or something? They made an adjustment to this map, actually quite a few. They've added some little green camps in the center here. I'll take the fog off, and they've added a third expansion gold mine here, and it's quite a buff creep camp. Level 4 Troll High Priest, level 6 Golem, Mud Golem level 2, 2 level 2 Forest Trolls. And it actually has only 9,000 gold as compared to 12,500 for these corner ones. I'm not really sure why they decided to do that, right? To make this, the harder creep camp have the smaller amount of gold. And it's between the bases, so it's also probably harder to hold this camp, hold this expansion, but anyways, I'm going to be doing a Tavern Hero build, and the opponent is going to do the Farseer Grunt opening, and he's going to transition into Headhunters, which I think Headhunters are ridiculously efficient since it's been a while since they made the buff on Headhunters, but they basically gave them 100 extra range. They went from 450 to 550, which they outrange a whole bunch of stuff in Tier 1 and, Tier 2 until the range upgrades for certain things like archers and rifles sort of even the field a little bit, giving them a little bit more range once they get these Tier 2 upgrades. But the efficiency of Headhunters, and then they can get the Berserker upgrade, is just crazy. They build so fast, they do a lot of damage, and they have insane efficiency with the Farseer, with Wolves. But starting with a Grunt, it allows the Orc player to put a lot of pressure. I don't get the tower quite as early as I should have, and the one thing is if you go for a Tavern Hero, as opposed to maybe a Mountain King, for example, or depending on which Tavern Hero you go for, as compared to an Archmage, you're not going to have that ranged hero to sort of kite a little bit and to put some damage, from range, and then also to summon water elementals, which are very efficient at creeping, right, depending on the Tavern Hero you get, which for me here is going to be the Panda. Now, the one advantage that I feel the Panda has in this particular matchup is sort of twofold. One is, and sort of this is the main one, is if he gets leveled up, he is quite effective at, diving bases or diving Headhunter mass, right? Because if they have a mass of Headhunters sitting there fighting together, you just hit Breath of Fire on them and pull back, and it's like, what exactly are they going to do? Do they have a Shadow Hunter second for Heal Wave? Are they going to have the mana to do that? And then you don't have to really engage them at first. Like full force, you can just hit the Breath of Fire. If they have a Raider with Ensnare, they can maybe ensnare you and sort of force the issue a little bit with the Panda. So yeah, I'm going to probably lose this Peasant. Is he going to be able to chase this down with his Farseer? It's kind of annoying that he can do this, but he probably will get to chase this Peasant down. He does get the kill, but I've hit a lot of damage, or a fair amount of damage on his hero here, which is really what I'm trying to do. But the problem with this situation is if he manages to get any of his units or his hero away, he can get a Voodoo Lounge, and Heal Salve is going to be super efficient. Now, he doesn't have a Heal Salve with him now, which is very nice. It's going to require a certain type of build order to come in here with a Heal Salve and this sort of speed of Harass, which he didn't do. It's a bit of a challenge to get the Grunt and the Heal Salve stuff coming. You can do it, right? But I think you're going to have to delay your War Mill and stuff like that. So he just chose not to. He chose to sort of prioritize his tech, which again is not really that big of an issue, honestly, because I don't have a ranged hero. With the Panda first, with Breath of Fire, I don't have anything to really catch his Farseer, and he's going to just chase. And the Grunt has so much health, it's like, what, can I really kill this Grunt? Honestly, it's not really even appealing to try it. I'm going to call to arms, bring a couple of footies over here, and creep this green camp, because I need to get levels on this hero. If we're just dancing around, he's going to end up having a stupid efficient army because of Headhunters and my low-level Panda. I'm going to try to block him out. I think he is actually going to get this footy as well, which again, this is sort of partly because how ridiculously efficient the Farseer is at harassment as well. So there's a number of heroes, like just the way the Farseer plays. I should have realized he sent the Wolves up here, and I should have just dove this footy into the creep camp, because I need to deny this experience. Because if I don't, he basically gets as much, well, not as much, but he'll he'll close the gap in terms of the experience. Let's see how much he gets here. He gets about 40 experience for that footy. So yeah, he's at 65, I think it is, and I am only at 144. So I've got twice as much experience, right? But he killed one of my, or actually he killed two of my units, right? So he's gonna come back here, and the thing with the farce here is with proper control, you can really easily deny the wolves, and you can just force damage. Like, there's not really much I can do about these wolves. If I focus them, he just pulls, if he micros correctly, of course, he just pulls the wolves back, or he resummons them at various points, or he denies them, right? He has all these options. I think I am going to get this kill, which is important, denying him some of this experience, putting a lot of damage on his hero again, on his headhunters. And I think I'm going to get this null as well. So I need to make sure I'm contesting and getting most of this experience while also trying not to lose any more units than I already have. So I do get level 2 before he does, right? So look at this situation now. I'm level 2 first. What is he? I'm at 29 food. He's at 33 food, right? So part of that is, I guess, he was able to get a second hero, blah, blah, blah. So his tech is going to be quicker. I need to put these workers back to lumber. They're chilling. It's kind of annoying. I probably shouldn't have completely walled my base because, I mean, honestly, he's probably not diving in the base with a tower up. But yeah, this is the thing. He brings a heal salve. I can get a regen scroll, which I do get. And we are going to go back to the creeping game. And I'm going to think about going here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to call to arms, and I'm going to do this merc camp. It's a lot of experience. I should probably wait until I'm tier 2. Actually, I'm going to be tier 2 when I start this, I believe. So that's good news. It's going to skyrocket my hero level. He's going to take this camp. It's really nice that he doesn't creep jack me here, because this, timing-wise, could have been actually pretty brutal. Also, he goes Endurance Order, which I've seen people do this, and maybe it's the way to go because you just want to get leveled. But, like, I don't know. I like to have that either Stomp or Shockwave. Right, imagine if he comes in here with Chain Lightning and Shockwave. I don't know if he was level 2. Yeah, he's not level 2, actually, on the Farseer, so he can't actually do this. He's going to go for this camp, and I am going to... Oh my gosh, do I go down here first? I should just... Did I see it? I feel like I didn't see it, but maybe I did. No, I didn't. I didn't reveal that. I don't think. Yeah, so this is just... I don't know if I heard this to come over here, or if I just like, let me get this Murlocs instead. I don't know. Oh yeah, I was going for the green. That's what it was. I was like, I only need like one kill. Let me get this green camp on the way and save the other stuff. I get his wolf with a breath of fire, and I hit some of the stuff there. I don't know if I denied any of the creeps. I just saw that his wolf was low, and I was like, let me hit what I can here with the wolf. It'll give me 3. And I could have alternatively just tried to kill the wolf with the footies and then hit the breath of fire. That's perhaps would have been more efficient if I managed to get the kill. Right, but anyways, he's going to go for this. I'm going to contest this again. Do I kill the... I didn't quite get the Mauler there, so that's unfortunate. Dude, sometimes the pathing on this game really irritates the Jesus out of me. Like, this footy was, like, just derping around back and forth, like, getting blocked by the panda. And, like, just, like, it's going to allow him to get, like 2 more volleys on, and it allows him to get the kill there. So I was super tilted by that, honestly. And it happened in some other games before where, like, I literally watched a footy just like, like run around with a chicken with his head cut off for no reason. And I'm just like, God, I don't, yeah, I can control it manually and make sure, I hit a pretty good breath of fire there. I've got enough mana for another one. So he's going to want to split his stuff, and he does do a decent job of that. He does have a Raider here, and he's tier 3, so I have to be careful. I hope I don't have to TP out of this situation, but there's a decent chance that I do. He's going to go for this footy. Am I going to surround him? Oh, I didn't hit the surround. I did or didn't. Did he bust out of this with mana? Oh, I didn't have the surround completed. Oh, jeez. Well, he's going to kill that footy anyway. I tried to deny this, I think, but oh my gosh. Literally, it was like 2 health or something stupid. Yeah, I'm going to have to TP. So I'm like, I try to turn around and hit the, does he have Heal Wave or Hex, or he didn't? I don't know what happened there. He probably could have tried this, set up the combo. That's why I TP'd, and actually, he has enough mana for another Stomp. So the issue with his hero combo now is he can set up these Stomp Hex, like stun locks. And look, like, 6 food of, Headhunters versus 6 food of footies. I don't know. It's just, as far as creeping goes, it's more efficient. Now, when you have defend and stuff like that, it doesn't really feel that bad to have footmen, but he's going to get the berserker upgrade, and they're going to go up to 450 health. So they do have more health than the footies, and they have the ability to go berserker full, and or mode or whatever, and attack faster. Which in terms of creeping is pretty good. I don't see him using it as far as it goes, but it doesn't even really matter, honestly. He's gonna get to do a bunch of nice creeping. And let's see, he's at 49 food. So I'm quite a bit behind him in terms of food count. I'm getting upgrades and going into knights, but it's like his units are so cheap. Like, I don't know, they're as cheap. The headers are as cheap as the footies, and they are way more versatile. Honestly, hit a breath of fire. I TP out because I didn't know that he had heal wave, so I maybe should have known that he had heal wave, which would have allowed me to maybe stand in there and get one more breath off, which would have threatened a lot of his units. But the heal wave is, of course, going to also counteract the damage, so it's like, is it really worth to take, more damage that I am dishing? I don't know why I lose that mana behind. I don't remember if I ever picked that up. I feel like I don't, so as it is. But anyways, I'm going to come down here and creep this camp. We're sort of just going for the rest of the creep camps on the map. There's this green camp, and there's like some big camps over here, some big camps down here, and he still has his creep camps. He has these 3 creep camps that he has not yet crept. So this is, since the hero levels are actually probably in his favor, this is actually quite bad, because he probably is going to clean these camps on his side pretty easily. All right, we'll see how it goes, but that means he's going to get more experience from the map than I do, maybe, because I do get this gold mine, but he got my expansion here. This is, of course, way more experience, so it's like, he got a lot of these creeps, though, so it's like, I don't know. He got these creeps, so it's probably, I don't know, he probably doesn't have a massive advantage, but the timing here, Tiny Great Hall, I would have liked to attack that, but I just don't have the army to do it. Like, in terms of resources, I don't really know why he was so far ahead. It feels like he was way far ahead than 6,400. No, it's not that. I don't know what, like I said, I don't feel like I lost that much. I mean, I know I spent some resources in upgrades, like defend or whatever, but it's only 1 attack upgrade right now. The second one is underway, but, I mean, he's got 2 attack upgrades on his headhunters, and he's got 3 heroes. So I don't know, it just feels weird. I do have a staff, so thankfully I will get to staff this night. He hits a stomp. Boop, doesn't stop me from stomping, thankfully. But he is going to clean up a couple of these footies. I'm going to run around this edge, and I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like I have enough damage output. There's a raider down there that I could maybe threaten to kill, but it's looking like if I get that greedy, he's probably going to hit Hex, Stomp, and Snare on me. And yeah, maybe I get the raider kill at the cost of my Tau Portal, so that doesn't really feel very attractive either. So I'm like, let me just pull back and take this green camp. I'm really close to level 4. He's going to go down here and get this green camp. And we are going to continue the creeping game. Now, at this point, I've pretty much fully committed to knights. I have a Griffin Aviary, but I'm like, he's got so many headhunters. Like, a small number, like 1 or 2 Griffins. I don't feel like he doesn't have any heavy, well, he's got like 1 grunt right now. But he doesn't really have any heavy armor stuff. He's going to get a Tauren later. But it's like, and I'm going to get like 2 Griffins, I think. But for the most part, I've pretty much committed myself to making knights for the move speed and the sort of synergy of the upgrades, just going to all the knights, right? If I go into Griffins, they're only going to get the attack upgrades, though at the moment, actually, I'm starting a first armor upgrade, but I was only getting attack upgrades because of the synergy of Griffins and Knights. But I have just almost decided I can't really afford to squeeze any Griffins into the unit mix. I guess in terms of food count, I could have gotten like 1 in there, but I just decided to just focus on Knights at least, for the time being. So I clear this. It's a pretty good chunk of experience. I'm still very far from 5, but I think if I get this down here, probably can get 5. So that's my goal. to get that. In the meantime, he's getting his camps. He's going to be 3-3. He's 3-3-2 right now. I don't know that he's going to get any more levels. He could probably get level 3 on his Shadow Hunter for sure if he wants to. I'm going to come over here and sell some of these items to make room because I'm going to need room for this camp's item. Pick up this Tome of Agility. You know, it's just a free Tome of Agility. Who cares? Agility is not the most amazing thing on a panda, but he's going to do his green. I don't know when or why he didn't just go do this. Is probably way if I somehow had snuck over here and grabbed this camp and then snuck over here and grabbed this one. I actually pulled back because I got level 5 and I was like, you know what, this is level 7 and 4. This actually could be a level 2 on my second hero, and I decided to get the Pit Lord for Howl of Terror and Cleave. There was some sort of, I was a little bit tempted to get a Archmage for a second for Blizzard. And then I was like, ooh, do I want to get a Blood Mage for Mana Siphon and Flame Strike? And then I was like, let me just grab. And I was like, do I want to get an MK for Clap and Bolt? And I was like, nah, let me just insta grab this Pit Lord and get Howl of Terror and Cleave. And then, you know, he's very tanky. He doesn't need mana for his spells. Not that mana should be much of an issue. He's going to get a sort of mediocre stomp here. I had a Breath of Fire immediately on his army. I had a Howl of Terror. And I try to make use of the superior mobility of the knights. I turn around and I have this Staff of Sanctuary. So if it's a bad situation for, you know, the Pit Lord or a knight or something and he hits the panda, is he going to make me Town Portal here? Yeah, he's really going hard on getting these hero kills. I'm trying to just angle the knights away from his TC because I know he wants to hit those stomps, and I just get away from it. It's like, you know, technically I didn't really feel that badly about the battle, but as soon as the positioning gets weird, like I need to make sure I can kite back and stuff, and I'm dodging his stomps. Because if he lands stomps like on basically my whole army, the value is just crazy. Like the amount of stun. Is he level 3? I'm pretty sure he is. So level 2 stun is level 2 stomp, that is going to give, I want to say it's like 4-second stun. I might be wrong. They might have nerfed it a bit, but literally my entire army is melee, which means that if I'm not very very careful, like if I'm just a-clicking and I'm like, you know, setting, you know, pretty much just a line of like knights and stuff and whatever, it's very easy for him to sort of position his stuff and sort of get his TC into position because of endurance aura speed. It's very easy for him to get into position for a really nice stomp. And like I said, you know, you think about 3 or 4 seconds of stun on, you know, I don't know, 80% of your army or more. He's gonna try this, you know. It's not gonna be that problematic because I Staff of Sanctuary, but if he gets to my panda, which he is because the speed scroll is 70 gold, and he is gonna hex and stuff. I don't know. He accidentally used the Invul Potion, which is funny. I'm just gonna go ahead and immediately Town Portal rather than take a bunch of damage. I do hit a Breath of Fire on the way out, and then I was like, okay, let me run these knights, and it's just so annoying. Like, ooh, let's go hex. You know, it's 70 mana. It's like less mana than sleep, but way better than sleep, basically, because you can hit heroes with it. They can't use items, and you can attack, and it won't wake the stuff up. And also, he's got this orb on his TC, which is proccing. Actually, has an orb on the Shadow Hunter and the TC. Where in the world did he? I guess he's had this expo for a while. Let's see. 9,600. Yeah, oh my gosh, he harvested so much out of this expo. He's literally harvested like 400 and then like 1,000. I don't know. Let's see. What is it? 9,470. So 470 is going to be 530, and then 410. Well, actually, it should be 500, right? 12,500. So yeah, you're looking at like 1,000 gold extra that he's been, you know, mining. Now he did have to buy the Tiny Great Hall, so it's like, or wait, no, it's I didn't do that math correctly. It's like 3,000 gold difference actually. I forgot. It's just had a brain, you know, just had a moment, right? He's at like 3,000 gold more than me. So that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of gold. And I've harvested about, it looks like I think it's 9,000 on this one. So I've harvested about 4 to 500 gold there. So anyways, the timing wise, this is actually really good timing because he has to make a choice here. He either TPs immediately to defend or he tries to trade, right? And the problem with trying to trade is A, I got here first, and B, I have level 3 Breath of Fire, which is going to hit buildings, which is nice. And C, I have Knights with 3 attack upgrades, which do normal damage. He has Headhunters, which have 2 attack upgrades. And he has like 1 Raider in the mix, and he has like 2 Kodo Beasts to do piercing, and he has Torrens. The Torrent pulverizes isn't going to affect buildings. So he's got a lot of really bad, units to attack buildings. Right now, when I say buildings, I mean fortified armor, the town hall, right? The towers are heavy armor, so they're going to be like paper mache to his army, basically. Especially since they're not finished. And I don't have any masonry upgrades. But to actually kill the town hall, which he doesn't do at first, he tries to TP in to defend, but it's too late, right? He loses the town hall. So either has to, like I said, his choice is TP now and like let this base stand and let his base stand, and we sort of probably repeat the process because I have fast moving knights and he has sort of a slow moving army. This is the one disadvantage of headhunters. Even though endurance aura is going to help make them quicker, and obviously if he uses some speed scrolls, it's going to be the same deal. His army's going to move around quick. He's like 1 kill away from 4. So he's going to be 4-3-3 for a while. 4-3-3 versus 5-2. So yeah, it's like I said, look, it's too late. These knights are going to function almost like raiders in this scenario. He doesn't have spikes. That it really matters. I mean, spikes would put out some damage, right? But it's not going to reduce the damage. So he is going to lose this, and I'm going to hit a Breath of Fire. This is a little greedy, but I hit that Breath of Fire and then TP. Is he going to kill this knight? I think I should have staffed that before any of that, as he was like attacking it or whatever, but just to reduce the damage. But he throws a stomp in there, wastes a bunch of mana, arguably. He almost killed the knight, but he didn't. So that was not the most efficient use of stomp. He's going to immediately run back, and I do the same thing. I'm like, you know what? Let me go make sure he's not expanding. Let me run over here, and he can do this with just his heroes. Since I don't have any towers, he can do this, but he's setting up. He doesn't have a town portal. He didn't go buy a town portal. Did he even have? He's got a speed scroll, but no town portal. So I'm running the knights, and I'm like, what am I doing? I thought about trying to defend it, and then I was like, let me just go see if he's expanding. And he is going to go ahead and make his decision. I'm going to go attack your base. Now I don't have masonry upgrades, and he doesn't have fortified burrows, but so it's going to come down to a question of whose base has more buildings and who can I check down here. So this is a bit of a time waster. I could have potentially just purely gone for the base race, but I was like, it'd be nice to get level 3 on that Pit Lord. And then I think about town portaling. I'm like, I can fight in my base with potentially militia and stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I actually don't have to do any of this. If he doesn't have an expo and I don't have an expo, let me just go base race him with the knights. I've got 3 attack upgrades. I've got mass normal damage, and I've got level 3 Breath of Fire, full mana, a mana potion even. Let me just base race him. If he wants to base race, he doesn't have a town portal. Let me base race him. Why do I want to go take my army to his army when I can just take my army to his base, which obviously is not going to fight back? And also my base should be sturdier. I just feel like the human has more buildings because of the farms and stuff. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I definitely have more fortified armor stuff because his burrows are not fortified, so he's going to be in bad shape there. And I'm going to make sure these knights go and chase down these... Oh my gosh, what is this knight doing? Ugh. Okay, I grab it, it seems like. I called arms and sent some workers, and 2 of them actually managed to get away. And then I called arms these workers, and I think he doesn't actually realize what the risk is here. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings. My DPS is just crazy. Plus, I can build like farms and stuff where I've got some workers ran out of the base. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I just have way more buildings than him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 to literally 6. Notice he's nowhere near even killing the castle. So if he doesn't kill the castle, I can potentially build some more workers and get the economy back online. And I'm going to actually be building a town hall down here. At some point, he's going to realize he's not going to win this base race. But the problem is he doesn't have a town portal or any. I mean, he doesn't have a town to TP to anymore anyway. But he has no way to get back and save himself, and he has no peons out of the base. He puts a Tauren down here, which is smart. I took way too long to react to this, so he's going to kill like all these peasants, I think. At least 2 of them before I even react. And the third one is going to be shortly following, because it just, you know, it just is. But he's trying to run back now, but it's too late. I can just ignore him. He loses the game, right? So that's sort of the one downside. I mean, there's multiple downsides to the army that he had, arguably. But in terms of practice, it's often really hard to punish that unit mix, because he's got the TC running interference, landing big stomps. He's got Hex to potentially, really disrupt things like healing or staff, or Hex, a Griffin or something. Hex sort of problematic units, or Hex heroes that like a level 5 Panda. Just keep that hero hexed and try to like time his cooldown, so you can, as his cooldown's wearing off, you hit a Hex right before it wears off. That way the Hex is running while he would have. It's going to really delay his next breath of fire, right? Is basically what I'm trying to say with the Hex. Or potentially, Shockwave Chain Wave is, probably not like, I feel like that's not the go-to combo, but it does, in certain circumstances, it's pretty scary, like against footies and whatever, and casters. But again, Stomp is just the stun. I mean, it's just with all the damage output from like the headhunters and stuff, it's really, really irritating. Plus, Kodo Beast. He had a couple of Kodo Beasts. If he hits a good Stomp, he can run those Kodo Beasts in there and devour 1 or 2 knights and get them out of there. And all of a sudden, you're just like, wow, I'm down 2 knights. My food count is sort of still stuck on those knights until they die, I think. And yeah, the knights are completely out of the battle now. They're in the Kodo bellies, so it's like, ugh. So, but like I said, there is a serious downside to armies like Mass Fiend Destroyer, like armies like Mass Rifle, Mass Headhunters, for example, Mass Archers. The downside is, relative to a lot of other units, specifically normal damage and siege units, they are not going to be good at a base race. They're actually terrible at base racing, right? So, you sort of play with that in mind in terms of like, yeah, um, if you're deciding what kind of strategy, and always have a TP sounds kind of goofy, and it's not like you have to religiously follow this situation, because if you would be better served, like you want to engage a fight, and you don't really want to TP out of it, and if at all possible, instead of buying it, and you don't have a TP, for example, instead of buying a TP, maybe you buy a heal scroll, 250 gold, and then maybe you buy an invisibility potion or an invulnerability potion, either one. Obviously, they do different things, but the invulnerability potion will give you a fair amount of seconds of total invincibility, and then the other one will make you invisible for like 2 minutes or something like that. So invisible, not invincible. So it's going to be 100 gold instead of 150, but it is what it is. They serve different purposes, basically, is what I mean. But yeah, it's just, it's sort of kind of funny to me. I guess I shouldn't really laugh, because it's randomly happened to me. It doesn't really happen. I mean, I just don't get into base races as much that are like, a chance for them to win. It's like if they've set that up and their army is like, I don't know, they can, if their army is such that they can literally just avoid me and play that lame style. At a certain point, I'm just gonna realize it's kind of hopeless, and if it really is hopeless and there's like no counterplay, a lot of times I'll just leave. Like I'll realize it, right? It it doesn't usually get to the point where I'm like, oh, I don't have a TP. Oh wait, there's a base race situation. But anyways, though, back to the thing. If he has an army mass piercing, and again, part of this is because he just didn't get a TP. If he gets a TP and he TPs back to defend, well, I can keep mining and he can keep mining, and then we can sort of play the game again. The game of who's in position. If he manages to force a fight, right? But he has to be very patient. He has to be patient and cautious and keep a TP and keep himself in position, not to let me, dive his base for free for, upwards of 2 minutes or something. He just can't afford to do it, right? If he does that once or twice, he does that 2 or 3 times, a lot of times the base is going to be in shambles, and then he's like, did he lose his economy? Can he build any more units? Did he lose his shop? Blah, blah, blah. So if he loses these things, he's going to lose some options in dealing with me, potentially in defending. And then, yeah. But like I said, if the opponent leaves you an opportunity, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I could have TP'd to my base and tried to defend, and some people might say that's the honorable move. You want to. What do you want to just attack buildings and play lame style or whatever? It's like, well, sometimes, I mean, it depends on your philosophy, right? Are you playing to like give yourself the best chance to win, or are you playing to like take your opponent in heads up battles and whoever can win heads up battles, right? A lot of time, I mean, I like the heads up battles frequently, and a lot of times I do want to. I'd have armies and have reasons where I want to get those heads up battles. I do, but there are some points where the game is gonna be just drastically easier if you play it a certain way. And it's like I said, especially if the opponent has TP to their expo or their TP somewhere, and they didn't rebuy a town portal, and you're running around with an army with massive amounts of DPS, even against buildings. All of a sudden, that sort of, well, it's fine, you didn't. You TP'd away or whatever, but it's like, we're all good, whatever. It's uh, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff to really sort of think about. But yeah, the the game was pretty sort of decided in a pretty funny way. I don't know it if he buys a TP and then he like actually TPs and defend. It's gonna come down to a question of micro and stuff, and fighting in his base, possibly near his shop, possibly near all of his production buildings. Um, maybe before he had sort of posted this thing from my name is Earl or something. It was a thing. There was some stuff of like Jamie Presley, I think is her name. They were just like, oh my goodness, oh my lord, look at that. She's a hottie and stuff like that. But anyways, um, yeah, I didn't. What's the word? I try not to give him too much of a chance to outmine me. Let's look at the resources. I'm sure he outmined me by a ton. Actually, I thought it was on like 3,000 more, but oh yeah, he did get hit with 1,800 gold upkeep, right? So he was still 900 gold more than me, but I thought it was way more. But then again, like I said, he's at like 1,800 and something. Not his ping, but his food count maybe or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's you know it is what it is. I don't get into like some other stuff or whatever. But like, I feel like it was a pretty good sort of troll, and he sort of set it up himself, right? So it's like, yeah, good job. Like, I don't know what you want us to hear, but anyways, though, I thought the game was pretty amusing to sort of come to the conclusion, like, wow, I don't have to realize, you sort of, the win condition is always kill all their buildings, right? Now, you can do alternative things that may or may not make them quit, which again, if you're confidently playing and, playing enough, you're most likely going to do some of this stuff, probably. Killing units and killing heroes and saying, "Ah, ha, ha, I got the DK or whatever it is that people talk about." But but yeah, as I say, the constant, consistent win condition, at least in this game, is to just not be inside. It's to be outside. Um, so it is bad news, but yeah, Kate Dennings, holy. But yeah. Anyways, I thought the game was pretty entertaining. You know, I got a bunch of hero kills. A lot of them were probably leaked. So, but yeah, it didn't exactly work like a Scooby Doo thing. Like I can't. You just throw dog treats at him and he'll be like, "Oh, look at this person. He's the best." It's like he he's eating his own treats. But I don't know. But hopefully he got some joy out of it. And when I say him, I mean the person sending the messages, um, or whatever. Uh, but yeah, this was the base race, and for me to just go ahead and say, you know what, let's go, let's bang, let's see who's got the army that can do this. I had a pretty confident feeling that I did just because of Breath of Fire. He could retrain to Blizzard though, so that's a sort of another interesting wrinkle they could throw in there that would make it hard for me to continue to sit there with mass footies. Um, right, but anyways though, this is gonna be ScryMind signing out.